traded in Forex? Okay, what is traded in Forex? Now, Forex is actually foreign exchange, like when we started. Now, what is traded? So, majorly, we have 8 currencies. So these 8 currencies that are traded in the Forex market are called the major currencies. There are other currencies, but these are the major currencies, all right? So the 8 major currencies are the euro, the GBP, the AUD. Now the euro is for the Eurozone, right? Talking about the Germany, the Switzerland, Paris, name them, all the European country, they use the euro. Then the GBP is the Great Britain pounds, which is for UK. Then we have the Australian dollar, which is the AUD. We have the New Zealand dollar. Then we have the US dollar, which is the USD, the Canadian dollar, then the Swiss franc, then the Japanese yen. These are the major currencies, the 8 major currencies. And what you have seen here, this order you have seen is called the hierarchical order, all right? The hierarchical order of currencies. Now, what does hierarchy mean? Hierarchy means order of hierarchy. When we talk about hierarchy, we are talking about placement, all right? Placement in category, placement in order of priority, all right? Who is on top? So this is the hierarchy. The euro is the first of the list. And the euro is known as, euro represents a universal-based currency. Okay, why is it called universal-based currency? Now, before we go into that, what is traded in the market is actually currency pairs, all right? You don't trade a currency. What you trade is a pair. And there are other things traded in the market, but we are talking about the Forex first, okay? We're talking about the Forex first, okay? So currency, the currency pair is a combination of 2 currencies with one bidding while the other one asking. So one is selling while the other one is buying, okay? So now the hierarchical order is actually for the purpose of nomenclature. What is nomenclature? Nomenclature is naming, okay? So now let me stop share here and go into my whiteboard. Let me share my whiteboard. Are we following? Are we following? Let me know. Are we following? Is the message flowing? So a good number of us, because we have passed through this stage, it may not be very sweet, but note that we are all here as starters, all right? Okay? We are all here as starters. We are all here as beginners. So even if you have passed this stage, don't look at it as no, but because there are some things you still learn in the course of the journey that you may have not known, okay? All right, so I'll be sharing my whiteboard. Okay, so I said we have the euro, the hierarchical order. We have the euro, GBP, AUD, NZD, USD, CAD, CHF, and JPY. This is the hierarchical order of currencies, all right? This is the hierarchical order. Now, this hierarchical order, like I said earlier, is for the purpose of nomenclature, for naming. So, euro is a universal-based currency, which means there is no way. What is a base currency? Now, base currency is the same as the first in every currency, which is the bid. All right, if I'm not mistaken, bid ask, always confusing me. Yes, the base currency is the bid, okay? The ask, rather. Let me not confuse myself. That thing usually confuses me, but I will, what I just need to tell you is that the base currency. So the base currency for every currency, let me, okay. So euro, let's say euro GBP. Now this is a currency, all right? This is a currency. Now, one, okay? That is one. Now, so this is the base currency. This is the base currency. And this is the quotes. Now, the base currency is the currency that is always the first. The currency that comes first in any pair is called the base currency. All right? The currency that comes first is called the base currency, while the second one is called the quote. Now, in the case of euro, we call it the universal base currency because you can never see it behind any other pair. So it's always in front. That is why it is called the base currency. So now let me show you what that means. So for euro, you have euro GBP, euro AUD, euro NZD, euro USD, euro CAD, euro CHF, euro JPY. Okay, so that is the first one, which is the euro. So you cannot see any pair that has euro in front of it. Now the next one now, which is the GBP, you can only have euro as the only base currency for GBP. For every other currency, GBP is the base currency. For every other pair, GBP is the base currency. But euro is the universal base currency, which is the only currency that is greater, in terms of the hierarchy. Now, one thing you should know is that this hierarchical order does not have anything to do with the worth, all right, of the currency. Does not have anything to do with the value of the currency. It's just for nomenclature purpose, okay? So let's go to the next one now, which is GBP. So first of all, you have the euro GBP. Sorry, euro GBP, yes, correct. Euro GBP. Then the next one now will now be GBP AUD. All right, GBP NZD, GBP USD, GBP CAD, GBP CHF, and GBP JPY. So the only one that is greater is the euro, which is in front of every other one. So in this order, this is how you run them down. So the next one now will not be AUD, NZD, NZD, USD, all right? AUD, NZD, AUD, USD, AUD CAD, AUD CHF, AUD JPY. The same way we have it, okay, let me just run the AUD, then I will leave the rest. I believe you must have gotten the message. So the next one will now be AUD, NZD, AUD, USD, AUDC, AUD CAD, AUDCHF, AUDJPY. In the same vein, you run all of them till the end. Now, if you now take note of this last one, JPY, JPY is a universal quote currency. JPY is a universal quote currency. Why? Because JPY can never be seen in front of any other currency. It's always behind. So it's a universal quote currency. The same way we have the euro as a universal base currency, we also have the JPY as a universal quote currency. All right, so let me stop share and go back to if you have your questions, you can begin to list them, all right, so that when we get to questions, you note them and you can actually ask your questions. Okay, so this is where we were, all right. So currency pairs, all right. What we have just done, what we're listing, we're actually listing the currency pairs, okay? We're listing the currency pairs, which is two currencies makes up, all right, say a combination of two currencies with one bidding and the other one asking. So the quote, the base is the bid, while the quote is the ask. Okay, so currency pairs. So now, when you look at the combination of this currency, the most traded is the USD, all right? Because the USD is actually the reserve, is the world reserve currency, and is the most traded. It's paired with almost every currency. Every currency is paired with the USD. So 85% of the trades that happen in the Forex market are paired with USD. Then the Euro plays a role of 39%, the JPY 19%, the GBP 13%, the AUD 8%, CHF 6%, then Canadian dollar 5%. Then the others, where you have the Nigerian Naira, Mexican Peso, Ghana cedis, India rupee, name all of them fall in the other 2.5%. Okay? So now, what are the things that affects economy? Now, because why are we talking about economy here? Now, every country runs an economy. Okay? And it is the economy, it is how stable the economy is that determines the growth, all right, of the currency, okay, that determines the growth in value of the currency. So there are some things that actually affect the economy. There are some things that affect the economy. So things that affect the economy include politics, interest rates. Now, every country has a central bank, all right? The central bank is the apex bank of every country, all right, that gives funding to the local banks and also draft policies for them to follow. Okay, so politics affects the economy. How? One will say how. All right, the government of the day matters to every economy. And when, especially during elections, when there are incoming government and outgoing government, because of interest, all right, it affects the economy. It also makes the currency has some dwindling effects, either upward or downward. Then interest rates. Now, interest rates is another thing that controls the economy. We have natural disaster. Natural disaster, we're talking about earthquakes, tsunamis, you know, name them, war. Okay, war is not natural disaster, but all of those affects the. So when take for instance, if earthquake ravage a country right now, let's just use let me not use any country, but just say a serious earthquake ravage a headquarter of a country where the policies and where the decisions are made. Definitely it will affect that country and it will affect their currency. Their currency must go down for that period. And if it is not well managed, it can actually bring about a downward turn, you know, and all of that. So we also have natural disaster. Okay, we also have terrorism and war. Okay, when there is war, it affects the economy and in turn affects the currency. All right, we have unemployment, import and export. We can tell the impact of import and export. Now, the countries that export the more actually have tend to have a more stable in value of their currency and also experience some growth in GDP. All right. But when you import everything, your currency value will begin to drop. All right. A country that imports almost everything, check them and check the value of their currencies. So these are things that affects the economy. Okay, so we also have major pairs, all right? The same way we have major currencies, there are major pairs. Now, which are the major pairs? Please take notes, all right? I know that some persons may not be writing because I didn't say right, but earlier I had already made the announcement on the group to tell everybody what to do, your writing material and all of that. Now, one thing is that in a class like this, what you put down is already there. Then when you go back to it, it's just a refresher, a reminder, all right? When you write something down in the course of a course, it's actually, it stays, okay? So most of these things I'm saying, they are not directly on the slide, even when you see the presentation later, except that you will also hear my voice again, which is the good aspect of it when you see the video. But it's good that you take notes, all right, and write most of these things in your personal notes. Okay, so major pairs. I already mentioned major currencies, but these are major pairs. So which are the major pairs? Now, please take note. The major pairs are those pairs that contain the major currencies that contains USD. They are called the major pairs, all right, except the JPY, all right, except the JPY. Now, the major pairs that contains the USD. So Euro USD is a major pair, all right. Then USD JPY is a major pair. Okay? GBP USD, USD CHF, USD CAD, AUD, all of them are major pairs. Now, the minor pairs are the ones that contains the JPY except the USD JPY. All right? The USD JPY is a major pair. But every other pair that contains the JPY is called the minor pair. Please take note. The USD JPY is a major pair, but every other pair that contains the JPY is called the minor pair, a minor pair, okay? So we also have the exotic pairs. All right, we also have the exotic pairs. Now, the exotic pair is any major currency that is paired with an emerging economy. So which countries do we call emerging economy? Nigeria, you know, Russian Federation rupee, South Africa rand, Korean won, Hong Kong dollar, Mexican peso, India rupee. All of these ones are called exotic pairs. All right, they are called paired with their any major currencies paired with an emerging economy are called exotic pairs. All right, active column. Okay, so now this is just saying that treat every pair like dating/cutting. Okay, now this is an advice in the Forex market. Now, the truth is that if you pick a particular pair or 2-3 pairs to study, you will understand their behavior over time. Every pair has their different behavior. GBP USD does not behave the same way. Does not behave the same way GBP AUD behave. There are two different pairs and they have their own behaviors. But if you have studied these pairs over time, you will understand how they move. You will understand the length of movement per time. A lot, you will understand them. You will understand when their exhaustion takes place, all right? And you will do better with, picking a few pairs to study, okay? Then say pick a few pairs, not more than 3 to 5 to study. Study only those markets until you become familiar with how they act. Keep track of what they do, keep trading journal, start with the most common pair. Remember, jack of all trades is what? Master of none, all right? A good number of us, people like us who trade generally because we are feeding a community, we also have pairs that we are most likely glued to, all right? Like me, I love gold so much. I love gold so much and GBP USD, and I've really been on those ones for a very long time now, okay? So there is just that the way they run, most times when you give gold and GBP USD to community, they may not be able to manage those trades the way you will be able to manage them, all right? So that's why for people like us who are feeding a community, we trade everything and try to work with simple rules, all right, to make sure that we are not out of line. Now, we have what we call the trading sessions in the market. Now, there are 4 trading sessions, okay? Now, the trading sessions are actually the markets we have in the Forex market. Now, we have the London, we have the New York, we have the Tokyo, and we have the Sydney, okay? Now, the market actually opened with the Sydney session. The Sydney session opened, the market opened 5 p.m. EST, all right, on Mondays, okay, 5 p.m. EST. So that's on Sunday, Eastern Standard Time, all right. Now, the market the Forex market is open Mondays to Fridays. Now, in Sydney, all right, this market, this 5 p.m. EST is actually 8 a.m. Nigeria time, okay? And that same time is actually the 5 p.m. EST is 10 p.m. Nigeria time. Please note, 10 p.m. Nigeria time. Then when the daylight saving sets in terms of the time, it becomes 11 p.m. All right. But when we don't have daylight savings, it's actually 10 p.m. Okay. And this same 5 p.m. EST is already Monday in Sydney. So that opens, then 2 hours later, the Tokyo session opens. Open 7 p.m. EST and close 4 a.m. EST. Then the London session open 3 a.m. EST, which is our 8 a.m. Nigeria time, all right? Except when there's light saving, which is what we're experiencing now, it will now become 9 a.m. all right, and closes 12 p.m. EST. Now, the New York section open 8 a.m. EST and closes 5 p.m. EST. Okay? Over time, you begin to understand this thing. People trade this market without understanding when it's New York open, London open, Sydney open, and Tokyo open. But if you understand them, the good thing, God has really blessed us because God positioned us in between the two major markets. The two major markets open, which is the London open and the New York open. So we have the major overlapping, all right, in the afternoon. What is overlapping? So overlapping session is when there are two sessions running at the same time. That's overlapping. So when the market open 5 EST, then Tokyo open 7 p.m. EST, what happened is that these two will be overlapping, all right, until 2 a.m. EST. Then when the London session opened 3 a.m. EST, which is 8 p.m. Nigeria, 8 a.m. Nigeria time, till 8 a.m. EST, which is 1 p.m. Nigeria time. So when this market open 1 p.m. Nigeria time, we'll now have overlapping of the New York and the London running from that time till around 5 p.m. Okay, that the London session will now close. So during the overlapping session, there is more. Okay, so let's look at say overlapping session. Say Tokyo, Sydney, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. EST, London, New York. Okay, say what is expected, the high liquidity. Say high liquidity is the best time to trade. Liquidity is the amount of participants in the market. Spread is the difference between the two currencies, either buying or selling. Volume is the size of trades activities in a certain pair. Volatility is when the market condition changes rapidly. So there might be high volatility or low volatility. That's when you see the big and small candles. So when there is high volatility, you see bullish, big candles. All right, but when there's no volatility in the market, that's when you begin to see small candles. All right, and this candle represent, if it is 1 hour time frame, irrespective of the height of the candle, they all represent 1 hour. Okay, so Sydney session starts the trading day in the Forex market, smallest and calmest of the mega markets. What is traded there is the AUD and NZD pairs, Australian market. Then we have this Tokyo session, which is the third largest Forex market, JPY pairs, low liquidity and volume, high spread. Then we have the London session, third session, GBP, Euro, CHF, center of trading. All right, so 74% of the Forex market's most active trading session, high liquidity, high volume, low spread, major news for the week. All of them happen during the London and the New York session. So the New York session marks the end of the Forex trading day. 85% trades involve USD. So big moves take place during the New York session. Major news releases, USD and CAD. All right, volatility dies down after 5 p.m. EST, after 12 p.m. EST. The best time to trade is the overlapping, which is the market overlap, which is like the New York and London session. Those are the best time to trade. Okay, so London, New York overlap is the most liquid. 8 a.m. EST to 12 p.m. EST. 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Nigerian time, which is what I mentioned earlier. Then London, Tokyo is 3 p.m. EST to 4 a.m. EST, which is 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. Nigeria time. Okay, what's time to trade? What's time to trade? Say during the New York session after 1 p.m. EST, when overlap stops. During the start of Sydney session through the beginning of Tokyo non-overlap period. Major holding US, that is major holidays. This is major holidays, not holdings. Major holidays, e.g. the US major holidays or Europe. Those are the worst time to trade. Some companies, some individuals don't trade when there are holidays. Some persons take it as a matter of policy. They don't trade the Asian session, all right? They only trade the New York and London session. And we also have people who do not just trade New York, London, they only trade the overlap. The overlapping is between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m., all right? You see that is when the market, you know, those of us who have been here with me and will take trades in the morning, and you see that the trades will remain until in the afternoon when the New York session open. That is when the trade will now move to go and hit TP or hit stop loss, all right? Because that is when the market actually drive volume and it is the best time to really trade. So Forex market time converter, all right? So let's leave this one. Buy